Hello everyone again. This is our second presentation. We're the Mobile Shuttle Tracker group consisting of me, Alex, Maish, Brendan, and Austin. And we've made quite a few improvements since we made our last presentation. So each of us basically did a different part of the project. So we're all going to go through our own improvements one by one.
So for those of you who don't really remember what our project is about, basically the whole point of our project today is to provide a convenient, simple way to display the shuttle information for mobile devices. Since the RPI Shuttle's website doesn't really do that much of a good job about it.
On mobile.
Yeah, on mobile devices. So
it's also lacking ETAs.
that's right. Yeah, so a couple of the features that we decided to add was basically show the shuttles on a more mobile-friendly map. Also show the estimated times of arrival both in a table form and also if you were to click on a stop, and also show the user's location relative to the stop so that the user can figure out which stop is closest to them, and so forth. So my task was data processing, and basically what that was taking the WebTech group stop, route, and shuttle data, and basically using it in order to determine how long it would take each shuttle to get to each stop on its route. And some of the improvements that I made were utilizing bearing calculations to determine the location of the shuttle. And basically what that means is that as the shuttle is traversing across a route, whether it's east or west, the routes sort of now have a direction. So in the case of the east route, there are a lot of instances where parts of the route may overlap each other. So part of the route might go that way, while another part of the route might go that way. So it's just to make sure that the shuttle is going in the right direction. Each stop holds a route point closest to its location, and that's just because some of the routes are very close to the road, some of the stops are very close to the road, other stops not so much. So it's just to make the math a little bit simpler. And also I added 30 seconds to each ETA past the stop that is closest to the shuttle right now, and that's just like 30 seconds of wait time at each stop.
Okay, so I made the Android version of this application, and the features I currently have implemented are a map view, which you can see there, and a view that just lists the ETAs for each stop. In that list of ETAs, you can favorite stops, so they'll appear at the top, since most people don't use more than 1 or 2 stops anyway. You can toggle between 12 and 24-hour display, and you can show your location on the map to figure out which stop you're closest to. And I've added shuttle color coding so you know which route each shuttle is on. That's something that's not available on the WebTech Group's site. So when you see a cluster of shuttles at the Union, you can actually tell which route they're on now. And I have published this to the Android market now, so you can search RPI Shuttle Tracker on the Android market and you'll be able to download it.
I've been working on the iPhone version of the application, and so far I also have a map view which is shown, and a list view for the ETAs. And there is an option to show the user's location, but it's toggled off with a screenshot. And got the request for 12 and 24-hour formatting, so that's also a setting here. And it doesn't look great, but it is functional on the iPad, taking up the full screen, so it does. There is already something for there. And some of the features I'm still working on are to find the closest stop to the user's position, which I think someone suggested last time, and your favorite stops the way they are in the Android version, and being able to hide ETAs if you're only interested in, say, the west route, to be able to hide the east route so you don't have to scroll past it, and to bring the iPad interface up to par with the iPhone's interface.
Okay, most of the web server code is grabbing data from the web tech group, from the RCOS Shuttle locations, and from Mesh's data processing. But I do have a feature-limited website set up that you can go to, and basically has all of the same features as the, or I'm going to have as many features as the iPhone and Android app. But it's got auto refresh of the ETA tables, it's got favorite stop lists, it's got classical route lists that you can save space. And I've got a map view that's written in the Google Maps API version 3, so it's a little bit faster than what the web tech group has right now. It's not showing the shuttles yet, but it should in later versions. And I think we have a demo for you. Oh,
Yes.
First thing.
Let's do the demo.
yes, yeah.
So what we're going to do is demonstrate the Android version of the application, since we demonstrated the iPhone version last time.
So, here's the map view that shows up when you first start the application. You can see the east route is colored green and the west route is colored orange, just like the signs in the shuttles themselves are. And if you pick a stop, you can see the estimated times of arrival for the shuttles on each route to that stop. If you click on a shuttle, you can see which shuttle it is and when it last updated. This is sort of important since these shuttles don't update very often, which is unfortunate. They seem to be updating quickly now, but sometimes they don't. And then on this ETA tab here, you can see the ETAs to each stop in list form, and if you want to, you can add one as a favorite, and it shows up there on top, and that'll start open every time you come to this tab, so you can quickly and easily see the ETAs to your favorite stops. I can't demonstrate the GPS since this is an emulator, but it's there.
If you do use the app, which I'm sure a couple of you will, you gotta be careful. These ETAs are a little experimental, so you probably want to look at the map first and then look at the ETA, just to make sure that you're not going to get screwed over.
Do you use the ETA that the web group provides you with, or you compute?
We are calculating the ETAs ourselves. We are taking the shuttle location data provided by the web tech group, and we're just doing all the math ourselves.
So you're not taking the historical data of the...
No.
No, we're keeping our own historical data. We're writing into the database. So thanks to Morphe Web Tech Group for giving us all this wonderful data. Sean Sullivan and everybody at RCOS.
How many downloads on Android?
8.
We just released it yesterday, and we're going to have an advertisement on Concerto.
Yep.
Brendan said that he was going to send that at some point, but
Look for it next week.
yeah.
And the iPhone version is pending approval, so you'll see that.
One of the benefits of the Android marketplace, you put it on, 5 minutes later, it's on the market.
I think you're up to 51 downloads now, I just got it.
Peter.
2 questions actually. So you mentioned a website that's going to have the same features. Are you going to try to make it look like the mobile applications?
I'm not sure about the style yet. Right now it's just a simple, I threw a little bit of CSS together. I'm probably not going to make it have like a black background, exactly look like an Android, but yeah, it's supposed to emulate the same idea, have little collapsible lists like you saw on the Android, and the favorites list. So yeah, basically the same.
And then also I think the Android app just looks absolutely incredible. I think it just looks like a really, really polished, well done application. Who did the the graphics for maps and time, because they look similar to an icon set that I know about.
They're Glyphish icons.
Yeah, so something you really want to be aware of is you need to mention in your release, in an about window, that you're using Glyphish icons, or else you're committing copyright infringement on that icon set.
I asked him about it, and the email he sent back to me was very vague as to what I had to do to use it.
For our repository though, where we included like Gillfish here, Glyphish here, like on the main page of the repos.
Right.
Yeah.
And the repo, it does attribute everything, but it's, the next release will have proper attribution in the applications as well.
I just think that the Android app is really, really well done. Looks absolutely
Thank
great.
You have a question?
Was the web tech group receptive to you guys like integrating some of your algorithms, like putting up the ETA or like anything else?
Have you heard anything back from them about ETAs?
Well, no.
I mean,
I had a small exchange with them when we got started. They were pretty they seemed pretty happy that we were doing something interesting with the shuttle data, but as far as ETAs, we haven't really spoken with them much about that.
there is someone from the web tech group watching our repository though, so they probably are paying attention to what we're doing.
Yeah, I think I know the person who's doing the ETA here. I talked to him, and what he's going to do is afterwards is he's going to provide a ETA API. The others could use it so that they can get a more accurate estimate of the ETAs. So he's experimenting with that. Isn't he your TA in software design and documentation?
Brian Mikulski?
Brian
Yeah,
Mikulski.
he is a TA in STB.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Nah, we can make it. Okay.
Thanks.